Think you know Canada? Think again. Beyond the stereotypes of endless sorries and hockey, a world of unique Canadian quirks looks bizarre elsewhere. From milk in bags and ketchup chips to the essential Toque and the ubiquitous the Canadian experience is distinct. This is an exploration of the pragmatic, polite, and eccentric national character. Prepare to have your idea of normal redefined as we delve into 21 things that are normal in Canada but nowhere else. The love affair with ketchup chips is one of the most baffling culinary norms to foreigners, yet it is a foundation of the Canadian chip aisle. These tangy, tomato-flavored potato chips are an absolute favorite and widely available, often dominating end-cap displays, yet they are rarely found as a standard permanent flavor offering in the U.S. or Europe. The chips do not taste exactly like liquid ketchup. Rather, the flavor profile is a complex, sweet, sour, and salty blend that hits all the pleasure centers. It's an intense powdered seasoning that leaves a signature red stain on your fingertips, a badge of honor for any chip enthusiast. The popularity is not regional. From coast to coast, the distinctive red bag is a must-have for movie nights and road trips. This enduring phenomenon speaks to a broader Canadian characteristic, a quiet, unshakable loyalty to its homegrown favorites. Attempts to introduce the flavor internationally have largely failed, underscoring that this is a taste bud trained exclusively in the northern latitudes. The question isn't why Canadians love them, but why the rest of the world is missing out on this perfect combination of salt, crunch, and umami-rich powder. If ketchup chips are a beloved classic, Ruffles all-dressed chips are a complex, philosophical statement on flavor. This is a chip that inexplicably combines the tastes of salt and vinegar, sour cream and onion, and barbecue all in a single crinkle-cut bite. For a nation often defined by moderation, the all-dressed chip is a surprisingly maximalist choice. The flavor profile is designed to confuse and delight. The initial hit of vinegar gives way to a creamy, smoky depth, concluding with a salty tang. It's a Canadian snack food legend, and its success is a perfect example of a market niche that only Canada truly embraces. While the flavor has made brief, limited edition appearances in the United States, it has never gained the permanent footing it enjoys in Canada, where it's considered a fundamental chip group alongside plain, salt, and vinegar, and barbecue. The all-dressed chip is a culinary analogy for Canadian multiculturalism, a successful, flavorful blend of disparate elements. From a simple regional Quebecois snack invented in the 1950s, Poutine French fries topped with fresh cheese curds and hot savory gravy has become a bona fide culinary pillar. It's not just found, it's unavoidable. Poutine is on the menu everywhere. Late-night chip wagons, arena concession stands, high-end gastropubs offering gourmet variations with truffle oil or foie gras, and even international fast food chains like McDonald's and Burger King feature it. The key to its authenticity is the squeak of the fresh cheese curds. If they don't squeak against your teeth, they aren't fresh enough. The contrast of the hot gravy melting the curds slightly, but leaving a firm, intact center, all soaking into the crispy fries, is a textural masterpiece. Poutine is more than a dish. It's a national bonding agent, a comfort food that bridges the French-English divide and serves as a drunken late-night rite of passage. Its journey from backroads diner fare to national icon is a testament to the Canadian embrace of unpretentious hearty comfort. In the United States, it's Kraft mac and cheese. In Canada, it is almost exclusively referred to as Kraft Dinner, or simply KD. The ubiquity of this boxed macaroni and neon orange powdered cheese product is astounding. Canada consumes more Kraft Dinner per capita than any other country in the world, making it a second unofficial national dish alongside poutine. KD transcends socioeconomic lines. It's a nostalgic childhood staple, a budget-friendly university student necessity, and a quick-fix weeknight meal for working families. For many Canadians, the distinct, somewhat artificial flavor of the powder is the very definition of comfort food. This cultural grounding is so strong that the term KD has cemented itself in the national lexicon, an abbreviation that requires no explanation. It's a simple food, but its status is anything but, representing a shared, easygoing culinary history. If you ask for a Bloody Mary in Canada, you'll likely be served a Caesar. This cocktail, made with vodka, clamato, a blend of tomato and clam broth, hot sauce and Worcestershire sauce, and traditionally garnished with a celery salt rim and a celery stalk, is the standard brunch and patio drink. It is a national invention, conceived in Calgary in 1969. The inclusion of the clam broth is what makes it so baffling to the uninitiated, yet it is what gives the Caesar its distinct, deeply Toque, Avery, umami flavor that is wildly addictive. It's so normalized that many Canadians don't realize clamato juice is virtually non-existent or considered an exotic oddity in most other countries. The Caesar has evolved into an art form, with extreme Caesars now featuring elaborate garnishes like entire cheeseburgers, bacon strips, or pickles, turning the drink into a meal and a photo opportunity. Rest assured, BeaverTails are not the actual tail of an animal. This is a trademarked name for a flat, deep-fried pastry stretched into a long, flat oval the shape of a beaver's tail and served hot. Typically topped with cinnamon and sugar, popular variations include maple butter, chocolate hazelnut spread, Nutella, or peanut butter. This deep-fried delight originated in Ottawa and is now a popular treat at winter festivals, fairs, and tourist spots, symbolizing the classic Canadian indulgence. It's a treat that fuels ice skating on the Rideau Canal and long walks in the snow, a perfect example of a simple, comforting food that has captured the national imagination and is distinctly branded as Canadian. Coffee Crisp. Chocolate bars are a masterpiece of wafer and coffee-flavored filling, all covered in milk chocolate, a distinctly Canadian confection produced by Nestlé. It's a crisp, light, and not too sweet bar, and the enduring slogan, "How do you like to eat your coffee crisp?" hints at the almost ritualistic way Canadians consume this treat. Despite being a Nestlé product, its distribution and popularity are overwhelmingly concentrated in Canada, much to the dismay of Canadian expats trying to find it abroad. Its light, airy texture and subtle coffee flavor make it a unique offering that resists direct comparison to bars popular in other markets. For Canadians, it's simply the coffee-flavored chocolate bar, a standard item in any vending machine or gas station. Perhaps the most famous Canadian identifier, saying "eh," is an absolutely normal and common verbal tic. It's often misunderstood as a sign of confusion or an interrogative, but in reality, it's an informal discourse marker used in at least a dozen different ways. It can function as a soft punctuation mark, a tool to elicit agreement or sympathy, or simply to confirm the listener is paying attention. It was a great game, eh? It's a subtle linguistic tool that lowers the intensity of a statement, a reflection of the Canadian tendency towards conversational understatement and politeness. Using "a" is rarely a conscious effort. It's a rhythmic punctuation that is part of the accent itself, differentiating the Canadian cadence from that of American speakers. If a Canadian refers to their toque, they are talking about a knit cap or winter hat. This is the common, everyday, and standard term, a necessity for Canadian weather from October to April. The word is an old French term that originally referred to a type of white hat worn by chefs, but in Canada, it has been utterly repurposed for the cold. This simple word choice is a perfect shibboleth, immediately identifying a speaker as Canadian. Asking for a beanie or a knit cap might be understood, but toque is the local term printed on all signage and product tags. It is a linguistic anchor to the relentless reality of a Canadian winter. Canada's coinage system is famous for its distinct names. The $1 coin is universally known as the Loonie because it features a common loon bird on one side. Following its introduction in 1987, the $2 coin was introduced in 1996 and was inevitably nicknamed the Toonie, a playful rhyme that stuck. These names are not slang. They are the standard non-official terms used by the government, banks, and the public. They are an affectionate sign of an easygoing national psyche that embraces playfulness even in its currency. The Loonie and Toonie have become so ingrained that using the formal $1 coin or $2 coin sounds stiff and unnatural to a Canadian ear. Canada officially adopted the metric system decades ago, yet it exists in a state of bilingual measurement. You'll drive in kilometers and buy gas in liters. The temperature is always measured in Celsius. However, when speaking about people, this standard is often ignored. Many Canadians still commonly refer to a person's height in feet and inches and weight in pounds. Recipes are often a hodgepodge of cups and milliliters. This measurement schizophrenia is a legacy of proximity to the U.S., where the imperial system persists. It creates a uniquely Canadian mental juggling act where one must constantly convert between the two systems, demonstrating a pragmatism that is willing to bend the rules for convenience while adhering to the global standard for official use. It's not a joke. The constant apology is real. Saying sorry isn't always an admission of guilt. It's often a verbal reflex to politely navigate a minor social interaction. If two people bump into each other in a hallway, both will immediately say sorry. If a waiter takes too long to get to your table, they will apologize. If you're trying to pass someone in a narrow grocery aisle, you apologize. This habit is a high-level form of social lubricant, a way of proactively diffusing conflict and showing respect for the other person's space and time. It signals humility and awareness of one's surroundings. While often humorous to outsiders, it's a serious cultural mechanism for maintaining the social harmony that Canadians value. Removing shoes. Indoors is a deeply ingrained and non-negotiable custom in Canadian homes. Guests are expected to take off their outdoor footwear immediately upon entering. This practice is primarily practical, driven by the weather. Taking off boots prevents snow, slush, mud, or salt from ruining floors and carpets. However, it is also a fundamental sign of respect for the host's space. To keep your shoes on is a minor social transgression that suggests disrespect for the cleanliness and sanctity of the private home. Hosts will invariably offer a shoe mat or a basket for footwear, and often a pair of clean indoor slippers or house shoes to borrow, making the entire ritual a marker of Canadian hospitality and cleanliness. If you want to sound like you belong, walk into a Tim Hortons Canada's iconic coffee chain and order a double-double. This is the required order for a standard coffee: 2 creams and 2 sugars. This specific high-volume order is a cultural shorthand, a term that is understood from St. John's to Vancouver. The term reflects the deep integration of Tim Hortons into daily Canadian life. It's a language of convenience and familiarity that permeates the workplace, construction sites, and family road trips. While people can and do order their coffee differently, the double-double is the default, the cultural baseline against which all other coffee orders are measured. Following from the double-double, the sheer density of the Tim Hortons coffee and donut chain across the country is unparalleled. In many towns and cities, it feels like there's a Tim Hortons on every corner, and sometimes multiple locations are built directly across the street from one another. This pervasive presence makes Timmy's a definitive Canadian landmark and social institution. It serves as a meeting spot, a quick meal source, and a symbol of national identity. While other countries have dominant coffee chains, few are as culturally embedded as Tim Hortons is in Canada, serving as a low-cost, predictable comfort zone for millions. While we covered the word earlier, the toque is not just a word, it's an essential winter necessity. The sheer duration and intensity of the Canadian winter necessitate a standardized, serious approach to cold weather gear. The toque, often pulled down tight, is the first defense against the bone-chilling cold and the ubiquitous wind chill factor. For a Canadian, the toque is not a fashion accessory, but a piece of survival equipment. It's the hat you lose and buy a replacement for 3 times every winter. The normalcy of wearing a toque for half the year, even indoors in drafty spaces, highlights the relentless grip the cold has on the national routine. As soon as the maple sap starts running in late winter and early spring, the tradition of making maple taffy on snow takes hold, particularly in eastern Canada. This delicious treat, known in Quebec as tire d'érable, involves pouring hot, concentrated maple syrup onto clean snow or crushed ice, where it instantly hardens into a thick, chewy candy. Participants then use a wooden stick, often a popsicle stick, to roll the taffy up from the snow. It's a messy, intensely sweet, and quintessentially Canadian experience, often enjoyed at a cabane à sucre, sugar shack. This simple ritual is a visceral connection to the land and a celebration of the one true Canadian agricultural export. Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving on the second Monday of October, a full month and a half before the American celebration. This earlier date is tied to Canada's northern location, where the harvest traditionally occurred earlier due to the shorter growing season. The Canadian holiday is generally a more low-key, family-focused affair with fewer parades and less commercialization than its November counterpart. It's a long weekend used for family gatherings, turkey dinners, and enjoying the peak of the autumn colors, a distinct cultural marker on the North American calendar. The May 2nd to 4th weekend is perhaps the most beloved and least understood Canadian holiday tradition. Formerly known as Victoria Day, the holiday is celebrated on the last Monday preceding May 25th to honor Queen Victoria's birthday. However, for most Canadians, the name Victoria Day has been entirely eclipsed by May 2nd to 4th. The name is an informal, universally understood reference to a 24-pack case of beer, a 2-4, often purchased to celebrate the long weekend. It is the unofficial national marker of the start of summer, a time when many Canadians open the cottage, see below, and venture outdoors, regardless of the unpredictable and often still cold weather. The practice of buying milk in bags is normal in several provinces, particularly Ontario and Quebec, and is arguably the strangest sight for a foreign visitor. Standard milk often comes in 3 1.33-liter bags sold together in a larger outer bag, which are then placed into a dedicated plastic pitcher for pouring after one corner is snipped off. This system is largely a remnant of the adoption of the metric system in the 1970s and a historical effort to reduce plastic use in the dairy industry. While bizarre, the system is efficient, and for those who grew up with it, it's completely intuitive. For the rest of the world, it remains a defining, quirky Canadian feature. The standard Kinder Surprise eggs, the milk chocolate egg that contains a plastic capsule with a toy inside, are sold everywhere in Canada. This is a crucial distinction from the United States, where the sale of the eggs was banned due to an FDA regulation against non-nutritive objects embedded in food products. The unrestricted availability of the classic Kinder Surprise is a small but significant cultural freedom. It represents a different approach to consumer safety and a small pleasure that Canadians take for granted. The simple chocolate egg, therefore, becomes a quiet symbol of the cultural divergence between the two North American neighbors. So there you have it, a peek into the Canadian definition of normal. From the specific gravity of our snack chips to the mandatory removal of boots indoors, Canada is a land of polite, practical, and truly unique customs. Next time you cross the border, embrace the quirks and apologize for everything, eh? Comment down below. Which dish was your family's destination? Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.